Okay, good afternoon to all of you. So in today's class, we will start the next topic of the embedded systems first unit. Okay, so in the last class, we have seen some applications of the embedded systems and also different classifications of the embedded systems. Okay, we have seen it. Now we will continue from that class, that whatever we have seen. So now we will see the main applications of embedded systems in this class, and also some other concepts like host and target, and different types of applications of the embedded systems we will see. Now see, almost all everywhere I have explained you that in every field there is an embedded system is available present in wherever, generally maybe medical applications or some other industrial home appliances. You take any area or any domain, embedded systems are commonly available. Now see, these are the some important applications of the embedded systems. They are healthcare. సో ఓన్లీ ఇక్కడ రెండు అప్లికేషన్స్ మెన్షన్ చేసినారండి హెల్త్ కేర్లో. ఈజీ, వాట్ ఈజ్ ఈజీ ఎలక్ట్రో ఎన్సిఫ్లోగ్రామ్. దిస్ ఈజ్ యూజ్ టు స్టడీ ద బ్రెయిన్ వేవ్స్ అండి. ఓకే, ద ఫంక్షనాలిటీ ఆఫ్ ది బ్రెయిన్. అండ్ ఈసీజీ, ఎలక్ట్రోకార్డియోగ్రామ్. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ యూజ్డ్ టు find the functionality of your heart, electrocardiogram. Okay, so this by using these ECG machines we can find out, or otherwise we can verify that our heart is working properly or not. Okay, these are not only these BP machines, like blood pressure nowadays, so pulse oximeters. There are many applications of embedded systems are available in the medical applications, or otherwise healthcare applications, we can say that. So now, and also most of the times in the project works, generally embedded systems means means like body temperature measurement and respiration measurements, blood pressure measurements, heartbeat monitoring systems. There are many applications are there in healthcare, where embedded systems are generally mostly used nowadays. See, even MRI scanning, CT scanning, remotely we can do that, and we can find out, so we can so we can what we can say is, we can install, not exactly install term, some other term we can use, that small electromagnetic chip, means electronic chips are kept inside the body of the person, and that chip can continuously monitor the blood sugar level, BP, heartbeat, and also that data can be sent to the doctor, okay, nearest hospital. That is another important applications of the embedded systems. Okay, so healthcare is the one of the important area where embedded systems are commonly used. Okay, next, banking and retail. ATM machines are examples of embedded systems, because see, nowadays ATMs are very powerful. So in some banks have introduced identifying the person, whether that person is authorized or not. So even fingerprint opening and closing the system, means ATM, and speech recognitions. Because see, all the people may not have educated, or otherwise they may not have a knowledge to withdraw or to deposit money. Okay, so that is why even voice synthesizers, by using voice also we can do the transactions on the ATMs. Okay, such type of ATMs are also available. Now currency counters. Okay, this is another example for banking, application of embedded systems in banking. Okay, banking and retail. Next, card readers and barcode reader. This is a very common application. If you go for any shopping, or otherwise supermarket, so every product is having some barcode. సో బార్కోడ్ రీడర్స్ ఉంటాయండి. బార్కోడ్ రీడర్స్ కనుక స్కాన్ చేస్తే కోడ్ మీద ఇమీడియట్లీ వాట్ ఈస్ దట్ మీన్స్ ఐటమ్, సపోజ్ సోప్ అనుకోండి, సోప్ soap of the name of the soap and price of the soap, everything will be printed. And smart card readers, and so the smart card readers, actually these are the actually they are cards, you can read them and you can get the details of that. Okay, smart card means like your ATM card, you have a smart card. In that smart card you have the entire information about a particular person or particular employee, maybe employee card. So employee card means employee name, employee designation, work means profession, what is the job of that employee, where he is working, like that. Every detail will be there in the smart card. And when you read the smart card, so that system identifies whether he is a proper means a employee or not of this company. Like that, smart card readers means actually these cards are inside that card. You will have a chip. మనకి ఇప్పుడు ఏటీఎం కార్డులో చిప్ బేస్డ్ ఏటీఎం కార్డ్స్ వస్తున్నాయి కదా, అలానే స్మార్ట్ కార్డ్స్, ఇన్ ద స్మార్ట్ కార్డ్స్ యూ విల్ హ్యావ్ ఏ చిప్. వెన్ ఎవర్ you swipe that card, so that data inside that chip goes to the reader and the reader reads the data and display the data. Okay, measurement and instrumentation. Okay, in this area, logic analyzers, logic 1, logic 0, spectrum analyzers. Spectrum analyzers are used to find out the frequency, means power at a particular frequency. Time domain like time versus amplitude. Frequency domain like frequency versus amplitude. Okay, like that. So if you want to find out the amplitude of a particular frequency, at a particular frequency, what is the amplitude of the signal, you can find out this PLC, programmable logic controller systems, DAQs, data acquisition system, and supervisory control system. This is actually supervisory control means SCADA. Okay, industrial process control, digital meters. Nowadays we have digital meters in our homes to read the reading the electrical consumer, means how much power you have consumed in your household, like that. So digital meters, industrial process controllers. So process, you can control a particular process in the industry using the embedded system. Means suppose if you want to perform a task, a big task, in that big task you have a, suppose you assume that you have a some 4 sequences in, okay, process 1, process 2, process 3, process 4, like that. So one after completing one process, it has to shift to the next process. Because therefore this shifting or otherwise giving the control from one process to another process, actually that will be done by the process controller. Okay, this also is one of the applications of the embedded systems. Missiles and satellites, so defense, aerospace, communication, tracking systems. Okay, in missiles, generally the entire electronic system, the entire electronic system which is present inside a missile is a embedded system. Okay, because everything is autonomous or already programmed. Okay, according to the events it has to perform some particular task. In the same aerospace means we have a rocket launching systems and satellite control systems and communication systems, satellite communication, satellite tracking systems. So where the satellite is, what is the health of the satellite, whether it is working properly or not. To control that, we have means to install and to maintain all these things, we need a embedded systems. Embedded system is everywhere. Whatever I am telling, all these are the examples of the embedded systems. You take a defense applications, aerospace applications, communication, satellite tracking, so everywhere. So systems means embedded systems are available. Some embedded systems are autonomous in the sense they work on their own, they will take decision on their own. Example, meeku rocket launching system undi. Rocket launching system lo once autonomous mode loki vellipoyin tarvata you cannot control that rocket. Automatically computer takes the control of the rocket and it initiates the rocket sequence process, and then it can control the all other sequences autonomously. Okay, that is actually happens in the satellite communication, otherwise rocket launching systems. So those are the examples of the applications of embedded systems in the different missiles, means defense systems, aerospace, communication, tracking and tracking systems. Tracking means satellite tracking. Okay, robotics and in the robotics, main part of the robots are the arms, like to move the arms and legs we have a stepper motor controllers, ఫర్ రోబోటిక్ సిస్టమ్. ఓకే, ఎందుకంటే రోబోట్లో లెగ్స్ హ్యాండ్స్ ఉంటాయండి. అవి మూవ్ కావాలనంటే వీ నీడ్ ఏ మోటార్. మోటార్ is the main thing. That motor can be controlled by using the embedded system. Actually the motor itself, that motor and that motor movement, rotation of the motor toward means front side, back side, or with some angle, all that is controlled by the embedded systems present in the robotics. And okay, entertainment systems, so video games, music systems, all these also, these are the examples of the embedded systems, applications of the embedded systems. Now signal and image processing, speech processing, pattern recognition. Pattern recognition means ఇప్పుడు మనం మొబైల్ ఫోన్లో ప్యాటర్న్స్ పెట్టుకుంటాం కదండి, ఫోన్ ఓపెన్ చేయడానికి సమ్ ప్యాటర్న్, దట్ ప్యాటర్న్ రికగ్నిషన్. అండ్ ఆల్సో ఇఫ్ యూ గివ్ సమ్ ఇమేజ్, దట్ ఎంబెడెడ్ సిస్టమ్ ఐడెంటిఫైస్ దిస్ ఈస్ ఏ పర్టికులర్ ఇమేజ్. ఇఫ్ యూ గివ్ సమ్ ఫ్రూట్ picture, it identifies this is a mango fruit, like that, and it will give you that name and identifies it. So that is called pattern recognition or image identification. Okay, speech processing, if the speech is not as per your requirement, suppose see, if the speech is corrupted by the noise, you can make a good means a high quality speech by processing the original speech. That is actually a speech processing. Next, video processing. Video also can be processed by using the embedded systems. Okay, now so these are also different applications. Consumer electronic means all home, so consumer electronics comes under, so different applications in the homes, entertainment systems, household appliances, washing machine, fridge, AC, all this comes under household appliance. Automotive industry, cars, ambulances, any mobile automobile device, automobile system. Okay, home automation, security system. Okay, that you can understand. Home automation means if you want to turn on the lights automatically when you enter into the room in the night, automatically lights will be turned on. And also once if you enter into the room, so doors of the room maybe you may design like the doors may be closed, windows are open, like that. And computer, telecom, computer peripherals, computer networking system, healthcare, banking, retail, card readers, so all these comes under signal image processing, like that. Okay, now applications, see again these are some of the some more applications. I'm not going in details, you can understand this. Okay, consumer electronics, camcorders, cameras. Camcorders means like you can take video and photographs. So household appliances, digital TV, DVD player, set-top box, and this is a special application of embedded system. Washing machines, refrigerators, automotive industry, anti-lock braking systems, engine control, automotive navigation system, engine control, like this we have a different applications of the embedded systems. Okay, automatic locking, anti-lock braking system means this is a special application in vehicles. So automatic means anti-lock braking system. Okay, so engine control, automatic navigation system. See, you can make the vehicle automatically navigate through the given path. Okay, home automation, security. Okay, this you can understand. Air conditioners, sprinklers, fire alarms, closed circuit cameras, CC cameras, home security system. Okay, home security means if some unauthorized person trying to enter your home, so it will give you some indication or some signal to you. Okay, next, telecom, cellular phones, telephone switches, handset, multimedia applications, like that. Okay, these are some computer peripherals like printers, scanners, fax machines. Next, computer network system, networking, network routers, switches, hubs, firewalls, all this also comes under applications. Okay, so those are the applications of the embedded system. That is also important from exam point of view. Okay, you may get write the applications of the embedded system in detail అన్నప్పుడు మీరు అవన్నీ అప్లికేషన్స్ అన్నీ రాసుకొని మళ్ళీ వాటిని మీరు డీటెయిల్గా ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయాల్సి ఉంటుందండి. ఓకే, సపోజ్ ఇఫ్ యూ గెట్ ఇట్ ఫర్ so 5 marks, you have to explain in detail that question, applications of embedded systems. Okay, clear? So next topic is, this is a very important topic, So previous one also many times it was given application, write the applications of embedded systems in detail, like that you get it for 5 marks. So during that time, means whenever you get the question, you have to write down total some 15 areas are there, you have to write down that 15 areas, and you have to explain at least some of the areas in detail. Okay, like home appliances, retail, banking, like that you take it some 3 or 4 and you explain in detail about them on your own. It is simply theory writing, right? Nothing diagrams, nothing is there, simple applications of the embedded system. So diagrams ఏం లేవు అక్కడ, అప్లికేషన్స్ రాయడం 15 అప్లికేషన్స్ రాస్తారు, బట్ యూ టేక్ ఎనీ 3 or 4 and you write down them and explain somewhat in detail about those 3 or 4 5 applications. Okay, next we will see this host and target approach of the embedded system. Then the primary mode of development for real-time embedded software has been the host target approach. Okay, host, and you can understand that host means the person who is responsible for initiating that particular process. Okay, we can say that, suppose here I am hosting the meeting, you are the audience, attendees, you are the attendees, like that, organizer, attendees, whatever you are getting on there. So same thing, host and target. Okay, the software development is done on the host system and it is to be executed on the target system. Okay, clear? So this must be very clear, right? Host system, target system. Host system means, suppose you assume that you are writing a C programming to means you are writing some program, C programming or any other program. That program has to execute water level indicator application. Okay, water level indicator application, మనం వాటర్ లెవెల్ ఇండికేటర్ డిజైన్ చేయాలనుకున్నప్పుడు ఆ వాటర్ లెవెల్ ఇండికేటర్కి ఒక ప్రోగ్రామ్ రాయాలి. ఏ విధంగా రాస్తాం? వెన్ ద మీన్స్ ట్యాంక్ ఈజ్ ఎంటీ, టర్న్ ఆన్ ద మోటార్. So when the tank is empty, immediately what I have to do is, we have to turn on the motor. At the same time we have to give a light to the green light or red light. Assume that empty means red light, so we have to turn on the red LED, and also once red LED is turned on, turn on the motor. turn on అయిన తర్వాత వాటర్ వచ్చి ట్యాంక్లో ఫుల్ అవుతూ ఉంటుంది, హాఫ్ ఆఫ్ ద ట్యాంక్ ఈజ్ ఫిల్డ్. దెన్ యూ టర్న్ ఆన్ ద ఎల్లో ఎల్ఈడి. ఎల్లో ఎల్ఈడి వెలిగిందంటే దాని అర్థం ఏమి? సో హాఫ్ ఆఫ్ ద ట్యాంక్ ఈజ్ ఫుల్. దెన్ వెన్ ద ట్యాంక్ ఈజ్ ఫుల్, యూ టర్న్ ఆన్ ద గ్రీన్ ఎల్ఈడి అండ్ స్టాప్ ద మోటార్. ఓకే, దీస్ ఆర్ ద డిఫరెంట్ సీక్వెన్సెస్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు రైట్ ఇన్ ద కోడ్. అయితే ఆ కోడ్ రాసేటప్పుడు మనం ఎక్కడ రాస్తామంటే ఎంబెడెడ్ సిస్టమ్ మీద రాయమని. we develop that software on the normal desktop computer. Okay, are you clear what I am saying? We write the code, we execute that code on the desktop computer. Once ఆ ప్రోగ్రామ్ అంతా కరెక్ట్గా వర్క్ అవుతుందని మనం టెస్ట్ చేసుకున్న తర్వాత, అంటే ఎంటీగా ఉన్నప్పుడు మనం వాటిని ఏమంటామంటే ప్రోటోటైప్స్ అంటాం. ట్యాంక్ ఎంటీ ఉన్నప్పుడు మనకి రెడ్ లైట్ వెలగాలి, రెడ్ లైట్ వెలగటంతో పాటు మోటార్ ఆన్ కావాలి. సో అది ఆ తర్వాత ట్యాంక్ మోటార్ టర్న్ అయిన తర్వాత హాఫ్ ఆఫ్ ది ట్యాంక్ ఫిల్ అయిన తర్వాత దెన్ yellow light has to be blown, and once if the tank is full, then you turn on the green LED and immediately turn off the motor. ఇక్కడ మాన్యువల్ ఇంటర్వెన్షన్ ఏముండదు, మనుషులు వెళ్ళి స్విచ్ చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. సో ఎంబెడెడ్ సిస్టమ్ ఆటోమేటికల్లీ ఐడెంటిఫైస్ దట్ ఎంటీ లెవెల్, half of the level, full tank. Once these are empty level means you turn on the motor, turn on the red LED, half is full, turn on the yellow LED, full tank, then green LED, turn off the motor. These are the things to be done. Okay, once you write the program, you execute that program on the computer, desktop computer. అయితే మనం డైరెక్ట్గా ఎంబెడెడ్ సిస్టమ్ మీద ఆ ప్రోగ్రామ్ రాసి మనం చేయలేము. ఎంబెడెడ్ సిస్టమ్ డస్ నాట్ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ మానిటర్స్. Okay, so here you have to write the program on the desktop computer, you have to execute the program. So writing the program, executing the program, and in that after executing you may get some errors. ఎందుకంటే ఫస్ట్ టైం ఏ ప్రోగ్రామ్ కరెక్ట్గా రాకపోవచ్చు కదా, అనుకున్న స్పెసిఫికేషన్స్కి మీకు ప్రోగ్రామ్ కరెక్ట్గా రాకపోవచ్చు ఫస్ట్ టైం. కాబట్టి వెనెవర్ యూ రైట్ ద ప్రోగ్రామ్, యూ execute the program and you check for errors. If there is any error, again you go and edit the program, then you execute the program until you get the correct result. ఈ రిజల్ట్ వచ్చిన తర్వాత ఇప్పుడు ఏం చేయాలనంటే, మనం ఎక్కడైతే ఈ ప్రాసెస్ అంతా చేస్తున్నామో దాన్ని హోస్ట్ సిస్టమ్ అంటాం. హోస్ట్ సిస్టమ్. ఓకే, సో ఇన్ దిస్ అప్రోచ్ ద సాఫ్ట్వేర్ డెవలప్మెంట్ ఈస్ డన్ ఆన్ ద హోస్ట్ సిస్టమ్. Okay, whatever the software finally we want to dump into the embedded system, we never develop that software on the embedded system. We develop that software on the some desktop computer or laptop computer. That computer is called host system. Okay, very clear? Now then, once if the program is properly working, then what we do is we create this executable file. That executable file, it is machine readable file, and also that is called a hex file. Hex, H-E-X, hex file, that is also called hexadecimal file. మీకు అక్కడికి వెళ్ళేసరికి బైనరీ ఉంటుందండి. ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ నార్మల్ సి లాంగ్వేజ్ ఆర్ సమ్ అదర్ లాంగ్వేజ్, ఇట్ ఈస్ ఏ మిషన్ లెవెల్ లాంగ్వేజ్. సో నార్మల్ సి those human beings cannot understand that binary programming. So whatever you write, that code, C programming or some other program, that you can understand. But once if that program is executed, you get some executable file. That executable file cannot be understood by the normal human beings. It can understand only that executable can understand executable file. Only the embedded system can understand, or otherwise your host system can understand that executable file. Okay, this executable file we take it from the your host system, and you dump that system into the microcontroller which is present in embedded system. Are you clear what I am saying? Suppose see I have written a program for water level control. Then that program I have developed on a desktop computer in my lab. I have executed that program. I got some errors. Again I have edited the program. Then I have executed it again. Then I got it correct. Now it is working working smoothly without any errors. Then after executing, I will get that executable file. Now that executable file, I will dump that executable file into the embedded system board. Embedded system lo manaki microcontroller untadi kadandi, ఆ మైక్రోకంట్రోలర్లో రీడ్ ఓన్లీ మెమరీ అని ఒక మెమరీ ఉంటుంది. I will dump that program, executable file program, onto that memory of the embedded system, so which is present in the embedded system microcontroller. So therefore, then that system to which you are sending this executable file is called target system. Okay, target system means what? It is a system into which finally we send the executable file into the system. Okay, so that is what is called a target system. A host system means it is a computer, a laptop computer or desktop computer on which we develop the software, we develop the programs or codes. Finally, once if your program is working properly, then you send that executable file to the target computer or otherwise target embedded system. So in that embedded system we have a memory, read-only memory or flash memory. We send our program into that read-only memory of the embedded system. So therefore now your desktop computer is called host system, and your embedded system is a target system. I hope you are clear about what is an embedded system, what is a host system and what is a target system. Okay, is it clear to all of you? So host system means it is a system on which we execute the program, and target system means it is a system on which finally we dump that executable onto the field system or otherwise embedded system. Okay, that is what is called a target system. Now this is what is the host and target system. Okay, host and target system architecture, you can see this. Now I will explain block by block. you clearly understand that. So in the host system is a, just now I told you, the host system is a desktop computer or your laptop computer, okay, PC, okay, personal computer. IDE, so this is a integrated development environment. So this integrated development environment means, so it is a like a user interface through which you can interact with the programming or interact with the different applications of the software, okay. So therefore we have a IDE or program development kit. In that editor, first మన ప్రోగ్రామ్ రాయాలంటే ఎడిటర్ ఉండాలి కదండి. మ్యాట్లాబ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ రాయాలంటే మ్యాట్లాబ్ ఎడిటర్ కావాలి. జైలింగ్స్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ రాయాలంటే సపోజ్ మీరు వెరిలాగ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ కానీ విహెచ్డిఎల్ రాయాలంటే జైలింగ్స్ ఎడిటర్ ఉండాలి. సో నౌ దిస్ ఎడిటర్ ఈస్ ద ఏరియా ఆర్ ఎడిటర్ ఈస్ ద application in which we edit the program or we write the program, okay, that is what is editor. Next, compiler, okay, once after editing the program, after saving the program, we compile that program, okay. So what the compiler will do, compiler will execute this program, compile the program, and we write the high level language here, C, C++, Java, some other embedded C we write here in the editor. This compiler will means convert that high level programming to so some assembly level programming. Once after getting that assembly level programming in the compiler, linker will link some header files, some source files to the your assembly programming file. Then we have a debugger, okay. So debugger, what debugger will do, debugger using this debugger you can debug the program if there is any errors. Then locator, okay, this locator, the means the main purpose of the locator is it will locate different parts of your executable file according to sector, means some, so your entire program will not be at one memory location, okay. Once if you execute that program, so computer allocates different memory segments, okay, then it will locate so all these sub parts of the memory, so using some pointers, okay, that what is a locator will do. Then we have a device programmer, okay, device programmer. So this device programmer, what it will do is, this device programmer dumps or sends your executable file from host system to the target system using RS-232 cable, okay. You have a some RS-232 so cable here in between host and target system. ఎందుకంటే మీరు ఆ ప్రోగ్రామ్ని సెండ్ చేయాలనంటే హోస్ట్ సిస్టమ్ నుంచి టార్గెట్ సిస్టమ్కి వీ నీడ్ సమ్ ఫిజికల్ ఛానల్ ఆర్ ఫిజికల్ కనెక్షన్. సో దట్ ఈస్ యువర్ RS-232 cable. This is a industry standard cable. So from the device programmer, this device programmer takes that executable file, then it sends that file to the target system using this cable. And cable is simply a physical medium between the host system and target system. Now in the target system, this is important for us, in this target system we have a processor or CPU, okay, maybe microcontroller, we'll have a some processor here, and that is also called CPU. Then you have a some application specific circuits, example to turn on the LED, to turn off the LED, to turn on the motor, like that will have. And these are the peripherals. You can connect different peripherals, like motor is a peripheral, LED is a peripheral, and fan is a peripheral, like the different peripherals you can connect to these ports. Then you have a EEPROM, electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. EEPROM means electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. By sending some electrical pulses onto that memory, you can erase the contents of the memory, okay. So here this is the memory area in which you dump the program which you have developed on the host system, okay. Host system is used to write the program. Once after writing that program, you send that program to the target system. Sending that program to the target system means sending that program into the EEPROM or flash memory, okay. So we write the program, then send that program to the EEPROM or flash memory. Then we'll have a communication protocols or communication what is that, communication interfaces, okay. So therefore these communication interfaces means like IO ports, and we have a some here to connect the RS-232. We need some IO port, and here again we have a IO ports. RAM, random access memory. Random access memory is to execute the program on the target system. Okay, మనం once if you dump that program, device programmer యూజ్ చేసి ఇక్కడ మీరు ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేస్తున్న ప్రోగ్రామ్ని ఈ EEPROM-లో డంప్ చేస్తామండి. whenever this EEPROM whenever the program is executing in the flash memory, then you will get some intermediate variables. Okay, so from where we'll store that intermediate values means we store that intermediate value whenever, suppose see, we are multiplying two numbers. When you are multiplying two numbers, you may get some partial products. 23 into 10 అనుకోండి example. If you want to multiply, you will get two partial products. ఆ రెండు partial products ని ఎక్కడో దగ్గర స్టోర్ చేయాలి కదా. To store them, they are called intermediate variables. We'll use a RAM, random access memory, on the target system. Okay, so therefore this is what is the target system. Target system lo manaki em untundi, processor untundi, application specific circuits to perform some special tasks, and you have peripherals like LEDs, motors, like that, and you have a EEPROM. The purpose of EEPROM or flash memory is, so this is the memory area where your program is dumped from the host system, and RAM is to store the temporary variables. These are generated or these are developed during the execution of the program, and you have a communication interfaces, then IO ports. You may have different IO ports, like if you take 8051, there are 4 IO ports are there. Using each and every IO port, we can do some particular operations. Okay, IO interfaces. Okay, this is a block diagram view of the host and target approach. Okay, host, remember that host system means it is a system on which you develop the program. Target system means it is the main final system, embedded system. After developing the program and the program is working according to your design rules, then you dump that dumping ante entante sending అని, అంటే ఒక దగ్గర మనం రాసి దాన్ని ఇంకొక సిస్టంలో పెడితే దాన్ని డంపింగ్ అంటాం. అది ఎట్లా అని అంటే మనం డైరెక్ట్గా చేతితో తీసుకొని పెట్టేదేం కాదు అది. సో వీ హ్యావ్ టు సెండ్ ఇట్, వీ హ్యావ్ టు సెండ్ from host system to the target system using some cable. Okay, so this is the device, and device programmer is the main element which controls this sending the program from host to the target. Next, so this is what I'm right. See, ఇంతకుముందు మనం చెప్పుకున్నదే, it is a computer system on which all programming tools run, where the embedded software is developed, and writing and editing, program compiling, linking, debugging done on the host system. ఇవన్నీ host system ఏ జరుగుతుంది. Compiler, assembler, linker, locator, debugger are used. Unit testing on the host ensures software is working properly. అంటే ఇవన్నీ మనం ఎక్కడ చేయాలి, host మీద కంప్లీట్ చేయాలని. It is also referred as workstation. Okay, so it is a programming center, program centric. Okay, programming centric. Okay, next, target. Okay, after completion of the programming work in the host system, it is moved from host system to the target system. That is, the developed software is located in customer target system. Okay, it is a customer centric. Target station consists of microcontroller or microprocessor, communication interfaces. So ఇంతకుముందు చెప్పుకున్నాం కదా, ADC, okay, RTC, real time clock. ADC means analog to digital converters, timers, real-time clocks, okay, chip peripherals, okay, integrated on chip peripherals such as timers, ADCs, RTC, real-time clock. Okay, ఇప్పుడు మనం చెప్పుకున్నదే ఇది host and target. Now, so this is the what happens, right? So this is the embedded firmware. Okay, embedded firmware. So this is the features and architecture considerations for embedded system. Now we have a memory. Okay, we have embedded firmware. Okay, now this is FPGA, field programmable gate array. It is like your what you can say is, it is a memory type on which you can design a new system. Okay, field programmable gate arrays, application specific integrated circuits, ASICs అంటాం. application specific integrated circuits, then DSP, digital signal processors, system on chip, microcontroller, microprocessor, it can be anything. Okay, it is a system core. Now we have a embedded firmware. That firmware we send it to the memory. From the memory we can send it to the system core. Okay, and also from the system core we can send it to the memory, and then finally you can take it output. And these are the communication interfaces. These are the IO ports. And you see here LED is there, some other LDR buzzers. So IO ports. Okay, you have a IO ports here. We'll have a sensors. Okay, temperature sensor, heat sensors, smoke sensor, like that different sensors will be installed based on your application. Okay, so here we have a other what is this, other supporting hardware. Okay, then so all these are connected, to the system core. So if you want to send the information, or if you want to send the code from system core to the out means communication interfaces. ఇంతకుముందు మనం హోస్ట్ టార్గెట్ బ్లాక్ డయాగ్రామ్లో అక్కడ కమ్యూనికేషన్ ఇంటర్ఫేస్ ఏమి RS-232 కేబుల్. Here also you have some cable, some USB, and here we have a different sensors, like it may sense the temperature, it may sense the heat, and it may sense the fire, like that. We'll have a different sensors, means even if there is a current sensors, frequency sensor, voltage sensor, like that different sensors will be there. So based on, suppose see, AC mission works on the principle of temperature sensor. Okay, so what it will do, whenever temperature rises in the room particular area, immediately what it can do is it can control the temperature by turning on the compressors inside the AC mission. Okay, like that. So automatic means self-controlled autonomous embedded systems are also there, in which in almost every embedded system will have a, so sensors will be there, actuators will be there, then output devices, communication interfaces, you have a memory and other supporting hardwares will be there. And these are the major means architecture considerations of the embedded system. If you want to design an embedded system, we need sensors, we need actuators. These are output devices are called actuators. Okay, so LED is an actuator. Actuator ante entante, whenever some sensor senses, suppose see temperature sensor senses the temperature. After sensing the temperature sensor gives some signal to the AC machine to turn on the compressor. Who will do that? Actuator will do that. Actuator turns on the computer. So actuator means which is responsible for turning or doing some operation. Sensors means sensing some particular change or particular variable of application in your system. Okay, so these are the different different inputs, outputs, memory, system architectures, and cables, input output devices, or you have to take into consideration before designing an embedded system. And when you are designing an embedded system, so first of all you have to identify what type of microcontroller I need, because in the market there are many embedded systems are available. So for your application you select a microcontroller like 8051, or you can go for ARM based on your application. If your application is simple application, you go for 8051. If your application is somewhat complicated, we have to control many operations at a time, then you go for ARM controller, like that. So decide the controller, decide the IO ports, decide the sensors, actuators, and memory, and what are the things you need. You have to process with the signal, means like message, voice, video, like that. So based on your application you decide what are the features required and what is the architecture considerations required for an embedded system. Okay, so these are the continuation of that. See, before designing an embedded system we have to consider, these are the different blocks of consideration. before going to design an embedded system. First, we have to see what is the power supply requirement and what is the oscillator circuit. Means because embedded system operates, every embedded system operates with some particular frequency. So therefore you decide first which type of oscillator you need, then what is the power supply required, and then after that what are the input devices we require to design an embedded system, and what is the interface required. Then you decide which processor you have to select, then program memory and data memory. Then program memory and data memory means to write a particular program we need a program memory. Okay, program is stored somewhere, your data variables are stored somewhere. Suppose example, add a comma b. If you take one instruction, add a comma b, that add is the program, a comma b are the data variables. Okay, so these program instructions are stored somewhere, data variables are stored somewhere. It is not a common memory between program and data. So therefore store the program at some location and data at some other location. Okay, timers are used to set the time. Okay, at a particular event, at a particular time I want to execute some application, then using timers we can set the time. Then serial communication ports, ఇంతకుముందు మనం చెప్పుకున్నాం కదా, RS-232 cable is a serial communication cable, like that. So we have a serial ports. On the serial ports data is sent serially bit by bit, like that. Parallel ports, whether you need serial ports or parallel ports. Parallel ports we can send the data parallelly, like 8 bits or 16 bits at a time. Okay, then we have interrupt controller. So interrupt controllers are very important in embedded system. When some interrupt arises in between, then we can control that that interrupt, means we can answer that interrupt. Suppose see, whenever a normal program is executing, during that execution of the program, in between if some other interrupt is coming in. Example, suppose if the system is, we have a many functions a embedded system is doing, watching the monitoring some particular area and also turning on the light. Okay, suppose so continuously it monitors the area, particular area. So you assume that at 6 o'clock you have to turn, evening 6 o'clock you have to turn on the lights. Then immediately at 6 o'clock you can set a timer, then interrupt will be generated, that interrupt will be answered by the controller. So you have to interrupt the system to turn on the lights. So whenever interrupt is generated, interrupt means just a disturbance, like during the normal execution of the program, if we set that operation to stop temporarily, then you give a control to the means you answer to the immediate programming which is interrupted. Okay, simply interrupt means what, how you can understand is, whenever you are reading a book in your house, just if somebody rang a doorbell, then on which page you are reading, just we will keep a mark of that, we will keep some pen or some mark there, then we attend that person, then immediately we come back and wherever we have stopped and we go to that location, then again we start reading. So that actually that ringing a bell is a interrupt. Okay, like that. Whenever you are doing a normal routine work, if something is coming, then we say that if something is coming and it is just we have to attend to that particular situation, and that is what is called an interrupt arising. Okay, interrupt rise. So that interrupt controller is also present, must be present inside your embedded system in order to answer your interrupts. Okay, then finally system application specific circuits. So the system application specific circuits are like a particular they are circuits, they will specific to a particular application. Okay, example, so temperature sensors will be there. The temperature sensor will sense only the temperature, that's all. Okay, that is what is one of the application specific circuit. Okay, smoke sensor, that smoke sensor can sense only smoke. Okay, that's all. Okay, that is also one of the application specific circuit. So once after smoke sensor senses the smoke, then you need to turn on the actuator to spray the carbon dioxide or water, like that, based on the requirement. Suppose if some fire is broken, then if you want to stop that fire, so you have to sprinkle that carbon dioxide onto the fire wherever it is erupted. Okay, like that. So these are the different features and architecture considerations of the embedded system before going to the embedded system design. Okay, so embedded system design cheyalante మీరు first you must have some idea on these different blocks. So which type of embedded system is suitable for you? Okay, so we need 8051 microcontroller or ARM microcontroller or some other, which type of processors you need. Okay, like that we need a different types of system peripherals, timers, processors, program memory, data memory, serial communication ports, parallel ports, interrupt controllers, power supply, whether you need a 12 volts power supply or 5 volts power supply, oscillator circuits, whether you need a 5 megahertz or 1 gigahertz processor, timers, oscillator circuits, like that we need a different subsystems to design an embedded system. You have to know, and after deciding that, then you go for design, physical design. Okay, that is what happens in the embedded system design procedure. Okay, so I will stop here. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Anybody of you, if you have any questions about whatever we have discussed, applications of them in this class, what we have discussed is what are the applications of embedded system, and also we have considered the host and target system considerations of the embedded system, and finally features and architecture considerations for embedded system. Okay, these things we have discussed in this class. Okay, if you have any questions, you can ask me. Okay, otherwise you can leave the class. If you have any questions, you ask me, otherwise you can leave the class. Okay, I'll stop. I am closing the session. Okay, no doubts. If you don't have any doubts, I will close the session.